Hi everyone, Ladislas Maurice from thewanderinginvestor.com. So today I'm in Budapest. I'm about to go on a fun little road trip. I found a house approximately 2 hours and 45 minutes away from the city, a small house right at the corner between Hungary, Ukraine, and Slovakia. And it looks like a little Plan B location. It's really cheap, 16,000 euros, about an acre of land, and I want to see what it looks like. Gonna jump in the car and go on a little Hungarian road trip. And now on the Hungarian highway network, brand new highways, all paid for by the European Union. Just stopped for a pizza, big pizza, $5. Here we are in the lovely little village. I don't know how many people here, maybe 200-300 max. There is a river right here behind this row of houses, and that is Slovakia, so less than 500 meters away. And down there in the next village, if you drive straight, there is one of the biggest borders between Ukraine and Hungary. So there seems to be public transport, little bus stop, but I don't speak any Hungarian whatsoever, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of buses coming here on a daily basis. And the house, so this looks like a little bar. It's closed. And the house is right here. So with about 5,000 square meters of land, which is quite cool. That's about 1.2 acres. Before going in the house, let's go check out the friendly neighbors. See ya.
Hello, see ya.
So it's well kept. Little houses are cute. So let's visit the house and the garden, and thereafter I'll be discussing why I think this is an interesting Plan B for European Union citizens. And then I'll talk about the area a little bit and some of the advantages of being here in the eastern part of Hungary. So the house is 94 square meters for 16,000 euros. That comes down to 170 euros per square meter. It's on a plot of 5,000 square meters, so about 1.2 acres. And you'll see inside it's very basic. Like, this is the kitchen area. Some sort of dining area. The living room. Bathroom. And I guess another living room. I'm a little confused. Look, so I mean, the house itself is very basic. If you want to live comfortably, clearly you'll need to do a major renovation. But if your goal is just having a plan B in case of general systemic issues, this would do. And what's great here is really the garden. The garden is absolutely lovely. So there used to be a well here, but they shut it off. They're not too clear why. So you'd have to do a bit of testing to make sure that there is still water and that you can make another well somewhere else. And the garden is essentially a big orchard with nut trees, I think apple trees as well. And it goes quite deep, like down there. So 5,000 square meters is not bad. So fence here, right here, another fence on the side with the neighbors, and the garden goes up to the little forest there at the end. So look, there's definitely enough space to grow your own food, to eat, to survive. It's likely that there's water on the property. You can install some solar roof panels. So I find that such houses in Hungary are a very interesting plan B for European Union citizens. The reality is that if you have a European Union passport, you're entitled to Hungarian residency as long as you own property in Hungary or have signed a lease agreement. So with either of those, you can come here once a year, get your residency papers. Having Hungarian residency does not mean that you automatically are a tax resident. You would actually need to qualify as a tax resident by spending quite a bit of time here or having the center of your interest in Hungary. Nor does it mean that you actually have to live in Hungary. But at least this card, if there were any border restrictions, etc., entitle you to come back to Hungary as a resident. So 16,000 euros, you get 94 square meters, you have a garden, you have access to water. It's possible to get fast internet because there's a phone line on the street. You just need to pay for a connection. You have your own little orchard with fruit trees, etc. Nut trees as well. You can grow your own food, you can chop some wood, and you can just live in peace far away from everything. For 16,000 euros in the big scheme of things, it's an interesting call option to have. Also, one of the benefits of being here is that you're on the fringes of the European Union, right next to Ukraine, 1 kilometer away. So what does this mean? It means that if you wanted to do a renovation, you can get Ukrainian labor to come here and do the renovation a lot cheaper. Also, typically Ukrainian labor are able to come with their own materials one way or another, which can mean that doing renovations is a lot cheaper. For example, window frames in Ukraine are about 2 to 3 times cheaper than they are here in Hungary. So it's amongst the cheapest homes you can get in the European Union, apart maybe from some parts of Bulgaria and some parts of Romania. You're right at the border of the EU as well, which brings some benefits. And honestly, it's actually quite nice around here. Slovakia is nearby, which means that there's hiking, fantastic hiking, skiing, etc. It's also very peaceful. So the village has 120 people. Population is mostly Hungarians. There are a few Roma families, but those are the sorts of questions you want to ask when buying real estate in rural areas in Central Europe. It's the ethnic breakdown because it has an impact on property prices. It's an interesting option to have in life. Make sure to come to Hungary. It's a beautiful country. You can drive around. The food is quite good. It's the weather. The country has a bit of a microclimate. I love coming to Hungary. I come here on a regular basis. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to my free private list on thewanderinginvestor.com. So typically I show actual investments. This is not really an investment. This is a call option on bad things happening. I also talk about residencies and second citizenships. Thank you.